Namaskar, hello and welcome to Sunset TV. I am Namrata Singh and you are watching Question Hour. This show focuses on important questions raised by the members in both the Houses of Parliament concerning matters of national interest. In the Rajya Sabha, members from various parties posed questions related to 13 ministries and sought responses from the respective ministers. Similarly, during the Question Hour in Lok Sabha, members from diverse parties raised questions pertaining to 9 ministries seeking responses from the respective ministers. Now let's take a closer look at some of the questions whose replies were tabled in both the houses. Lok Sabha member Vishnu Dutt Sharma asked the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change whether the government is implementing the Green India mission to increase forest cover and improve biodiversity in the country, especially in Madhya Pradesh, and the measures taken to achieve the mission's objectives. The ministry, in its reply, informed the House that National Mission for a Green India is one of the 8 missions outlined under the National Action Plan on Climate Change. It aims at protecting, restoring and enhancing India's forest cover and responding to climate change by undertaking plantation activities in the forest and non-forest areas in the selected landscapes. In Madhya Pradesh, the implementation of GIM activities commenced in 2018-19. Till date, 123 crore rupees have been released to the state of Madhya Pradesh for taking up afforestation, eco-restoration activities under different submissions of the Green India mission. The Madhya Pradesh State Forest Development Corporation Limited, through its Kundam Project division, has undertaken plantation activities in Katni district, covering a total of 254 compartments over a net area of 11,000 hectares from the year 1978 to 2021. Additionally, afforestation works are also being undertaken with CAMPA funding, especially under the compensatory afforestation and net present value components in Katni district, North Panna and South Panna forest divisions. In the South Panna forest division of Panna district, afforestation and treatment of forest land over an area of 2,814 hectares have been carried out under various submissions of the Green India mission during the period 2018-19 to 2024-25. Rajya Sabha members Dr. Anil Sukhdev Rao Bonde and Leher Singh Siroya asked the Minister of Power whether government has constituted a task force to develop the India energy stack as a unified digital infrastructure for the power sector, and, if so, the key objectives and features of this initiative. The ministry, in its reply, informed the House that it has constituted a task force comprising domain experts and various stakeholders, including representatives from ministries, state utilities, regulators, etc., to chart a roadmap for the India energy stack. IES is envisioned to create a unified, secure and interoperable digital platform to transform the power sector by enabling seamless data exchange, real-time analytics and enhanced consumer services. It aims to create a standardized platform that will enable data, services and systems to work together seamlessly across the power sector value chain. Selected distribution utilities of Delhi, Gujarat and Mumbai have been identified for the pilot implementation, and expected timeline for the same is financial year 2026-27. The ministry further informed that by creating a unified, open and modular digital backbone, it is envisaged that IES will facilitate in improving efficiency of distribution sector and enhance consumer-centric services through improved load forecasting, efficient demand response program, active participation of consumers in energy trading, etc. Lok Sabha members Dr. Bayareddy Shabri and Appala Naidu Kalisetti asked the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change number of projects implemented under Integrated Development of Wildlife Habitat Scheme measurable outcomes achieved in terms of wildlife conservation, habitat improvement, and community participation, and whether government has any plans to expand or strengthen the scheme, and if so, the details thereof.
प्लान ऑफ वाइल्ड लाइफ हैबिटेट ये केंद्र सरकार के द्वारा प्रायोजित की गई एक स्कीम है। इस स्कीम के अंतर्गत हम राज्यों के साथ उनका जो शेयर है उस शेयर के आधार पर इस स्कीम को हम आगे चलाने का काम करते हैं। इंटीग्रेटेड वाइल्ड लाइफ हैबिटेट के अंतर्गत हम लोग इको डेवलपमेंट एक्टिविटी और ह्यूमन वाइल्ड लाइफ की जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है उसके साथ साथ जो स्पीशीज है उनके प्रिजर्वेशन और कंजर्वेशन के काम की तरफ भी ध्यान देते हैं। माननीय सदस्य महोदय ने जो एक स्पेशली एंडेंजर्ड स्पीशीज के बारे में पूछा है, ऐसी जो 34 स्पीशीज है वो इसके अंतर्गत शामिल है। भारत सरकार ग्रेट इंडियन बस्टर्ड को पूरी तरीके से बचाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। अभी इसका कार्य राजस्थान में किया जा रहा है और वही कार्य को अभी हम लोग कर रहे हैं, उस हैबिटेट को मैनेजमेंट कर रहे हैं। आंध्र प्रदेश से अगर कोई स्पेशल प्लान हमारे लिए आएगा तो निश्चित रूप से केंद्र सरकार उस पर ध्यान देगी।
Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Seth asked the Minister of Power details of economic impact of NEP on job creation and investment in power sector, and whether government has introduced incentives for private companies to invest in renewable energy generation and grid modernization projects under NEP. The ministry, in its reply, informed the House that the NEP provides a long-term outlook on generation and transmission capacity addition, offering visibility to investors, developers, equipment manufacturers, and transmission service providers. Implementation of NEP is expected to generate substantial direct and indirect employment across design, engineering, manufacturing, construction, operations, and maintenance. The total fund requirement for generation and transmission infrastructure for the period 2022-23 to 2031-32 is estimated at 42 lakh crore rupees. Job creation estimates are not separately maintained, but large-scale infrastructure development is expected to create lakhs of employment opportunities. The ministry further informed that no formal agreements or collaborations with global institutions have been signed specifically for achieving the NEP targets. However, the government continues to engage with international forums and bilateral platforms on areas like energy storage, smart grids, and grid management, which indirectly support NEP implementation. The government has taken several steps to promote private sector investment in line with the NEP goals. Electricity generation is delicensed under the Electricity Act 2003. 100% foreign direct investment is allowed under the automatic route in the power sector. Tariff-based competitive bidding guidelines have been issued for procurement of renewable power and transmission services. Interstate transmission system charges are waived for interstate sale of solar and wind power for projects commissioned by 30th June 2025, with graded charges applicable thereafter. A project development cell has been established in the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy to facilitate investments. A solar parks scheme is being implemented to provide land and transmission infrastructure for large-scale renewable energy projects. A bidding trajectory of 50 GW per annum has been issued for renewable energy procurement bids from financial year 2023-24 to 2027-28. These initiatives aim to accelerate renewable energy deployment, encourage private participation, and modernize the grid infrastructure. The ministry further informed that the present National Electricity Plan covers the period 2022 to 32. Further, a committee has been constituted for preparing the next NEP from 2027-28 to 2036-37 in accordance with statutory requirements to prepare the plan every 5 years. This overlapping planning ensures continuity and periodic revision based on evolving demand, technology, and policy landscape. Lok Sabha member Rakesh Rathore asked the Minister of Tourism whether the government proposed to formulate any schemes to develop better infrastructure at tourist places of the country. The ministry, in its reply, informed the House that development and promotion of tourist destinations, including rural tourist places, is primarily undertaken by the respective state government and Union Territory administration. However, the Ministry of Tourism, through its central sector schemes of Swadesh Darshan 2.0, challenge-based destination development, a sub-scheme of Swadesh Darshan, pilgrimage rejuvenation and spiritual heritage augmentation drive, and assistance to central agencies for tourism infrastructure development schemes, complements the efforts of tourism infrastructure development by extending financial assistance to the state governments, Union Territory administrations and central agencies. In addition, government, under its initiative for special assistance to states for capital investment, has also provided financial assistance to the states for development of tourism projects. Further, with the aim to promote tourism in tribal areas, the Ministry of Tourism has also issued guidelines for development of homestays in tribal areas, along with template for formulation of proposal to develop tribal homestays to the state governments and Union Territory administrations. Ministry of Tourism has also formulated a national strategy and roadmap for development of rural tourism in India. Lok Sabha member Naveen Jindal asked the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change measures taken or being taken to address the problem of air pollution, particularly concerning particulate matter, vehicular emissions and ozone levels in the major cities, and whether government proposes to implement any specific projects or policies to tackle water pollution, including industrial effluents, sewerage and agricultural runoff in major river basins.
ये एक काफी बड़ी समस्या है और इसको लेकर के पूरे देश में 130 के करीब शहरों में हम लोग इसमें गुणवत्ता में सुधार करने के लिए अनेक प्रयास कर रहे हैं। इन प्रयासों के अंतर्गत माननीय सदस्य ने जो पूछा है कि हम लोगों के प्रभावी योगदान के लिए भी कार्य कर रहे हैं। निश्चित रूप से हमने इन सब शहरों में सिटी एक्शन प्लान रिवाइज करे हैं ताकि जहाँ पर इस प्रकार का प्रदूषण बहुत ज़्यादा है वहाँ पर जन भागीदारी के माध्यम से ज़्यादा मिटिगेशन एक्शन कर सकें। उसके साथ ही साथ हम लोग मिशन लाइफ की जो एक्टिविटी है, मिशन लाइफ की एक्टिविटी के अंतर्गत सेव वाटर, सेव फूड, सेव एनर्जी के साथ साथ सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट, ई वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट, बैन ऑफ सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक और सबसे बड़ी बात है हेल्दी लाइफ स्टाइल, इसके भी प्रचार प्रसार के लिए कार्य कर रहे हैं। उसके साथ ही साथ हम वर्ष में एक सप्ताह विशेष रूप से वायु प्रदूषण के प्रति लोगों में जागरूकता के लिए भी कार्यक्रम कर रहे हैं। हम उन म्यूनिसिपैलिटियों को विशेष प्रोत्साहन पुरस्कार भी दे रहे हैं जो जन भागीदारी के माध्यम से पॉल्यूशन के जो विभिन्न आयाम है, चाहे व्हीकल पॉल्यूशन हो, चाहे इंडस्ट्रियल पॉल्यूशन हो, चाहे डस्ट पॉल्यूशन हो, उस पर जो नवाचार कर रहे हैं उनको भी प्रोत्साहन देने का काम करते हैं। एनकैप के अंतर्गत जहां पर सिटीज में वायु प्रदूषण को रोकने के लिए स्टेप बाय अरेंजमेंट है, उसके लिए भी फंडिंग करने का काम हम इस कार्यक्रम के अंतर्गत करते हैं। तो अध्यक्ष महोदय, माननीय सदस्य ने एक बहुत गंभीर चिंता की ओर हम सबका ध्यान दिलाया है। जल शक्ति मंत्रालय के द्वारा यमुना को लेकर के एक विशेष योजना तैयार की जा रही है। उसके साथ ही साथ सीवेज स्टैंडर्ड को बनाने के लिए वाटर एक्ट के अंतर्गत और यमुना में जो अन्य जो शहरी आबादियां हैं उनसे जो प्रदूषण आता है उसके लिए एसटीपी लगाने के लिए एक व्यापक योजना कार्यवाही का कार्य किया जा रहा है। जल शक्ति मंत्रालय के साथ पर्यावरण मंत्रालय उसको सहयोग कर रहा है।
Well, that is all I have for you in this edition of Question Hour. Stay tuned and thank you for watching Sunset TV.